I got into education through my job as an IT specialist in Jefferson Davis Parish. And I started doing some trainings with the teaching staff in professional development days. My wife has been a teacher for many years, and my mother was a teacher, my grandmother was a teacher, and maybe that genetically influenced me in some way to enjoy teaching.
A lot of classes that I've been in just kind of felt like that they were just kind of teaching from a book. Whenever I first started going into classes with Mr. Kelley, it was a lot more organic in terms of learning.
A lot of the time he would find like almost allegories, like he'd bring up something else and try to connect it to that.
Well, the first thing I do is try to determine how I can make the student relate to the material in terms that they're familiar with.
If we had any questions whatsoever, he had plenty of time to stop and explain it, and then he would make sure that everyone in the class, he would ask them, hey, does anybody not understand this? I can explain it further. And, usually everyone understood pretty well.
The communication's usually very open. He doesn't mind asking questions. He encourages it. That's one of the things I like, is that if someone had a question, he'd stop and answer it, tell everybody, explain it more. He's very good at finding different ways to explain things, I feel like, which is nice.
One of the things I do to encourage students to speak up and start asking questions is to reveal my own vulnerabilities. I'll straight up tell students that I'll make mistakes, and I want you guys to catch me make those mistakes, because it only makes me a better person whenever I correct those mistakes.
He has a very casual way of communicating to all the people, which is good because it creates a friendly environment and it allows for students to feel like they are, safe here in a way. Like they're comfortable.
In the computing pro class, we had the ability to learn to physically take apart computers and put them back together again.
The first few weeks he just took us through how to build it, how to disassemble it, and then we could come in basically anytime we wanted to and practice that. So I probably did the same computer every time. He had 2 or 3 of them we could do. So I just came in after class during the lab and probably took it apart and assembled it at least 20, 30 times.
I felt like just with a lot of the stuff that was going on in that class, it was really just what drove me to continue this area.
I really do enjoy seeing the light in the students' eyes whenever they discover that epiphany in a topic. And I look for that. I look for those micro expressions as I'm giving my lectures. And I'm looking into everyone's eyes as I'm doing this, as I'm giving the lecture, and I can kind of get an idea who's got it, who doesn't. And whenever I see some people that really are just kind of have that mental look of like not quite there yet, I'll try to find another way to illustrate the same point.
Mr. Kelley connects with us, I think, just through talking. He'll be up there teaching, and then he'll tell a story that happened to him that connects into what he's teaching, and that a lot of time helps kind of connect us more to him with that.
Mr. Kelley always kind of seemed more of like a friend to me rather than a teacher, which he definitely is a teacher. He's a good one, great one. One of the best I've had.
He does a lot of things just out of kindness to students. He tries to help as much as he can. I don't know if we've mentioned it, but every Friday after midterms, he buys pizza and brings it here and helps anybody, not even just in his classes. If someone comes in, he said if someone comes in with like math problems, they need help with their history paper they're trying to work on, if he can, he'll try to help them, which is nice.
It was the FBLA, the Future Business Leaders of America. We were qualified to go to state, but unfortunately I was the only one that was able to go. The leader, Wendy Saunier, she was unable to accompany me because they needed a male counterpart to go with me. So I asked Mr. Kelley, and he said he would be delighted to go. So the 2 of us drove up to Atlanta, Georgia. I competed in the computing concepts and programming concepts, and I won 10th place in the nation. Mr. Kelley was very instrumental in helping me learn everything I needed to know so that I could win that 10th place themselves in the competition.
I know I'm in a position to assist people who are trying to make a massive change in their life, or I've decided to make a massive change in their life. And I want to be as much of a role model for those students to be courageous about those changes and to not be afraid when they slip up and fail, that people like me are going to be right there to help pick them up.
He does a lot. He does a lot for his students. He has a lot going on in his life, but he still makes time to do what he can to make sure that every student passes.
I'm really honored to be kind of recommending this award to him in this way. He deserves it.